Hey, come on, have a seat. So this in front of me is my Lewisia Cotyledon, and this is my mother plant. And as you can see, it put on quite a show. And so this is the mother plant, and I have 3 babies over here. And last year I propagated these babies, and in today's video I'm trying to do 2 things. First of all, I want to prune some of these old stems to make them look a little bit more decent, and then I will try to propagate my Lewisia again. So let's see if it's gonna work. So the propagation of the Lewisia Cotyledon is quite interesting. You find the babies in this mother plant under the leaves. Do you see the babies under here? And there are actually quite a few. Some of them look healthier than others. So what I'm trying to do now is to find these babies and cut them and cut the stem as close to the stem of the mother plant as possible. So let's go around and see. So I found a baby earlier here. And I will try to cut it out. Oof. Let's see if this is viable or not. I think I see another baby right here. So I really try to pull up the leaves as much as possible so I can go close to the stem. I think that's a slightly better cut than the one before. I can see some insects, but it doesn't look too bad, and I will tidy this up in a little bit. Oh, there's another one. Let's see if we find one more baby, maybe. No, I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get back to this mother plant in a bit. So I just have a pot with very old potting soil, but I think that should be fine, just to see if the babies are viable or not. So what I'm going to do, I will plant them in the potting soil. Make sure that the soil is firm around the baby. And yeah, I can maybe remove some of the spent leaves before I do this. So what I have to do in a bit is to water them a little bit and don't put them into ice and expose them to too much sun, because I think they would suffer a little bit. But if you put them into hard shade for now, I think they have a good chance of surviving. And that's pretty much what I did last year with these babies, and they've put on such a great show this year. I was really happy with them. Yeah, so wish me luck with these babies. Second thing that I want to do is to prune and essentially tidy up my babies and my mother plant a little bit, because yeah, you can see what they look like. It's not too attractive to look at the moment. Okay, so essentially what I'm doing, I'm cutting off all the stems as close to the plant as possible. This essentially allows the plant to not spend too much energy on these bloom stalks anymore, and focus more on the growth of its roots, or on hopefully new blooms. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And at least the mother plant is already producing quite a lot of new blooms. I can see there's still some relatively nice looking blooms left, but I will still cut it off because in a few days' time it won't look as attractive anymore. I will remove some of these not very attractive leaves in a bit, once I'm done with the bloom stalks. Okay, there are quite a few nice blooms left. Look how gorgeous they look. But I will still cut them off just because of all these spent blooms below. And if you look closely, I can already see new bloom stalks forming over here. So yeah, I'm quite optimistic that I'm gonna have maybe at least one more show of new blooms forming in the next couple of weeks to months. Okay, let's now remove some of the tired-looking, dried leaves. Yeah, I also noticed they got quite wet. It was raining quite a lot in London these last few days, and I don't think this pot drains very well, and I think they like well-draining soil, so I need to make sure that I check that this hole is actually letting water through. yeah, I'm happy with this. And I think this was the worst out of all the babies, so it should be easier. Yeah. Quite mushy, some of these. And I even found a weed. Yay. So I think I have a similar problem in this pot to the former one, that I'm not sure if the pot drains very well, so I will check this at the end of the video. Yeah, but I think this already looks considerably nicer than before. Let's go to the last one. Yeah, this soil is moist, but not as wet as the previous 3 ones. So I think this can actually drain very well. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Okay, I will put this back, and yeah, let's hope that in the next couple of weeks they will bloom again. Okay, and finally I will go to the mother plant. I saw quite a few dry leaves earlier, spent leaves, so I will remove them. But first of all, I will cut the bloom stalks that don't look as nice anymore. So let's see. I think this one is largely done. Actually, I will remove all of it. And you can already see new ones forming here, so I really don't have to feel too bad about cutting off the old ones, even though they're still blooming. I think this is just too nice to cut it off now, so I will leave it for now. Oh, maybe I could make a bouquet out of it. Okay, and finally I will just look at some of the leaves. So I can just lift up the new leaves, and you can see all these dried leaves below. They should be quite easy to remove. find it so satisfying to clean plants. It's just so much nicer to look at afterwards. I should probably also remove all these cobwebs, but overall I'm happy with the result, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this new growth in the future. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.